hive so I can do a hive inspection, because I believe that there might be a possible varroa infestation. I'm showing signs of deformed wing virus, so I'm going to smoke the hive to calm them down, and I'm going to go ahead and open them. I'm going to check some of the frames, and during the process I'm going to add a powdered sugar treatment. I have powdered sugar in the can here. That helps for the bees to clean the hive and clean each other off, and it also keeps the varroa mites from being able to adhere to the bee when they climb onto them. One of the symptoms of deformed wing virus, of course, is deformed wings or bees that are unable to fly or stumbling around. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, and I'm going to add a drone frame, because the varroa might prefer the drone cells because they're larger, and they'll gravitate toward this. And every so often I'll take it out and freeze it, which will kill the mites, and put it back in, and the bees will clean the frame, and the queen will lay on it again. So I need to work rather quickly. The bees are pretty active today. So what you always need to have handy is your hive tool. This is made for prying open the hive and making the bees can't get it shut. Before I lift off the lid and get attacked by bees, what you want to do is crack the lid, blow a little smoke in it. You always want to keep your smoker going, and there's plenty of fresh stuff around that you can just put in it like this, leaves, sticks. You puff it a few times like this, the flames will start going a little higher. You can hear it crackling and popping. And once it gets going pretty good, close the lid.
She's by the chicken coop.
I'm going to give it one more puff here. Try to get it down between the frames. One more puff in front. You go ahead and remove the lid. And as you can see, I have tar paper on here. This helps keep the hive warm during the winter. I have it on with thumbtacks so that I can take them out relatively quickly. And I don't want the tar paper blowing off during heavy windstorms. So I thumbtack it in place with a few thumbtacks. Most of the time the bees will just ignore you. The alarm pheromone that they release when they smell smoke is what causes them to go in the hive, so that they're not aggressive. They'll start eating honey thinking that a forest fire is coming, when in actuality it's not. And afterwards, when you're done and they realize it's a false alarm, they'll go back to what they're doing. And I'll put the tar paper back on once I'm done doing the inspection. You want to try to avoid walking in front of the hive if possible, because that's their route from in and out of the hive. And if you stand in front of the hive too long, you'll end up with bees all over your back and you won't be able to see them because they're clinging to you. So I'm going to set my tar paper over here. My table here is to set the frames on. And what you're going to do is you're going to lift the box off. And sometimes they're stuck on pretty good. So use the hive tool, like a little crowbar, prying up the corners of the hive. Every so often you give it a little puff of smoke. This keeps the bees calm as they gorge themselves on honey, thinking the forest fire is coming. Now what I'm going to do is set my frame over here. I'm going to actually put this one on the ground. So I need room to set the other boxes. You can see there's bees on top of the frame here. They were probably the workers that were storing honey in the upper super. I'm just going to leave, actually, I'm going to go ahead and take the queen excluder off. This is a screen that you put on between the top hive box and the super, so that the queen can't get into the upper chamber and lay eggs. And that way you don't have larvae mixed in with the honey that you're trying to acquire. So what I'm going to do, the bee's got a little agitator when I pulled that off. I'm going to blow some smoke down into the frames. What you can do is, this smoker has a hook on it. You can hang it on the side of the frame here. The bees will go ahead and they'll probably fly off here and go back in the hive entrance. I'm going to go ahead and give it another puff of smoke. And if we want, we can pause and take a quick break while the bees calm down for a second.